Hey guys, thanks for tuning in and checking out the channel, checking out the video. Today I'm working on two things. First, I'm working on my Quafu quarter panel armor. That video will probably already have been out. And I'm also installing my affordable off-road rock sliders, which is what this video is about. So there you can see one of my quarter panel armors getting ready to go on the other side. In the background, I have my 2003 Jeep TJ Wrangler with a quarter panel already installed, and the rock sliders about 90% installed, ready to come back off to get paint. So this is what you get with the affordable off-road rock sliders. They are definitely affordable. They offer a pretty good product for a very reasonable rate. I'll post up the number that I paid for it right now. I don't recall off the top of my head, but they follow the same template that most of the other companies do, with the tapered edges to match quarter panel armor like that, and match your factory fender at the front, which I will point out in a second. Mine doesn't quite match. I had to make some changes. This has a big CNC cut plate on the bottom. This is all one plate that was formed over a brake and CNC cut. These two tabs right here correspond to your body mounts. I'll point that out in a minute too. I also had a problem with that. I wanted a rock slider that had a tube on it, and they have a very nice tube on here. Very well bent, supported. The welds look great. And then it's got some laser cut, CNC cut holes for your hardware. It's got this little notch to go around your Jeep logo. And then below that is gonna be their cutout logo. So let's go over to the Jeep. I'll kind of show you how the install went and point out a few things. So first off, it comes with hardware that has an Allen head on it. It's not countersunk like a lot of the other companies do, but it's got a nice little round head. That's pretty nice. I actually like it. And then it has a nylock nut for the back. So to get this on there, I held it up, clamped it in place. Luckily, I had my quarter panel armor on already, because you kind of got to match this angle. I did okay. It's not perfect. I had it better, and then I started drilling holes, and I was off a little bit, and I just ran with it. So underneath here, I guess I'll go ahead and point out the problem I had. This Jeep has an 1.25 inch body lift on it. So if you don't have a body lift, you're probably not going to have this same issue. But this part of the tub right here sits down, and it kind of has an indent, like a nest for this body mount bushing to sit. This part of the rock slider is flat, and it sits against that. So it kind of leaves a void back there. And then in addition to that, I have this sitting, the other body mounts are on. They are where they're supposed to be. And I only have like a 1/2 inch versus an 1.25 inch gap. So my body mount is not gonna fit in there. I kind of went a cheap route, probably not a recommendable route. And I'm just gonna use some thick washers in there to make up that gap. I'm also gonna slide a few in between this plate and the tub to kind of fill up that gap. And eventually, you know, I'll address that and do something different. But I didn't feel like cutting my body lift right now. I'm in like crunch mode. We have a trip coming up this weekend, and I've put off all this stuff too long. Other than that, when I mounted it, I just jacked up the body. I loosened those body mounts. I slid that in there, lined it up there, and then used a couple jacks to make sure it was tight to the body and touching the bottom of the tub. And then I drilled one hole at a time, putting the hardware in and tightening it afterwards. Want to try to make sure that this looks level. And then now I'm going to go through, I'm going to paint behind this and add some of this PB Blaster surface shield just to kind of help with rust prevention. So the next step is going to be masking this off. And then I'll take this off, paint it, and then reinstall it for the last time. But the tube looks good on there. Super excited to have a step, and it puts it at a nice level. Now the other issue I had is unique to me because I built these high lines and they're not in a factory location, of course. The whole fender moved up 3¼ inches. And then I had built this bracket, and you can see I cut right here. The original armor comes out and has a hole about right here for your hardware. So I cut that out, drilled a new hole, and then eventually I want to fill in this gap. I'm not going to worry about it today, just because I don't feel like taking so much time when I have so many other projects to get done, hopefully today. But I did trace out some metal, and when I do this, I am gonna just cut a triangle strip like that, and then I'll weld it along here and grind it smooth. It'll just sit in there like that and kind of make that gap a little better. And then maybe I'll plate it on the inside too, so it has a flat spot for rocks and stuff, so they're not getting stuck back here. But for now, I think this looks fine. It's definitely clearanced. And yeah, not a bad thing to have to add just a little bit and alter it to make it work for my needs. So now my next step is gonna be to take that out there, prep it and paint it. And then I can put it on. I don't know if you can see in here. There's one of the nuts on the back side, and I did have an issue back here where you kind of have this box built into the tub. So this last bolt comes through, and I couldn't even get the washer on it. It sits kind of funky just because of that box. I assume a lot of people just kind of notch that. When I get that bolt out, I'm gonna stick a chisel in there and massage it down. So hopefully I can get that to sit flat in there, because it's not sitting flush on the outside. But yeah, awesome product, affordable off-road. The one thing to keep in mind on the driver's side is that you do have a wire loom that runs along the tub by your feet. So you're gonna wanna pop that out, pull your wires out before you drill any holes, because you don't wanna nick a wire. So that goes for the same with the quarter panel armor, same deal on that side. And if my plan goes right, I will have already posted the corner panel armor install video, followed by this rock slider install. So stay tuned and watch what happens next. All right, I've been busting a move, masking, spray painting, and bed lining, and I got this other side mocked up, and you know, I'm trying to do this all at the same time, make 2 videos at one time. But right now I'm moving on to the final install of the rock slider. I got it bed lined out there, and I masked this off. I left this red. I'm hoping that I got that lined up. That should be right where their logo is at. So a nice little pop of red behind it. I went through and made sure I got paint on all the holes I drilled, and this was pretty rough through here. And I masked it off and sprayed it too. And then, you know, I got impatient, and now I got dirt embedded in my paint, but whatever, it looks better than it did. So now's the hard part. I gotta go grab that bed lined rock slider and mount it on for the last time without scratching everything up. Well, it looks very nice with some paint on it. Well, that looks about right where I need to be. Always stresses me out doing something like this, because, you know, inevitably, even though I painted those holes, they're gonna get some scratches and stuff right here as I'm putting hardware in. Especially that hole was tight. Okay, so under here, like I said earlier, I had body lift, and it's not gonna fit. You can kind of see in there. Anyway, so I'm gonna put 2 up there and then a couple down here. You know, so the body lift sat in there. It actually uses this. You know, I almost could eliminate that, I guess, and use just the body lift, but I'd rather use that, and then some washers I think will be just fine. But I will have to jack that up just a little bit. Like I said, I can't recommend using washers over the body lift. There's a right way to do this, and that'd probably be to not put a body lift on a Jeep, but that's okay. We got gold, and this helps. Help if I was tightening the ratchet instead of loosening. Over here gives you a better angle. That's that nest I was talking about. You can see I stuck 2 washers in there to make up for that depth. So now this, because this doesn't even bridge all the way across. Eventually, I think I'll come in and build a couple braces to tie it into the frame. I think that would be just a stouter option. But for now, this is fine. I'm like over here looking at some of the scratches I put on there, putting it in. Like I'm not gonna go bash this off rocks this weekend. All right, there she is. Just gotta finish tightening it down. Should have been a little more patient with my dry times, but that's okay. Looks pretty good. Got this, my mask line was a little high on the bottom, but that's all right, it looks okay. So it kind of made their logo pop. All right, that's it for the affordable off-road budget rock sliders for the Jeep TJ. 10 out of 10 on this product. I think it's really good, especially for the price that I paid. I know it was pretty cheap, and if you sign up for their mailing list, they give you a pretty good discount. Save me like 50 bucks with that discount. So thanks to them for being willing to do that. And yeah, I'm happy with those. We're going to take them out this weekend and put them to the test. And maybe I'll include some of that footage in here if I haven't already put this video out. But sliders, quarter armor, high lines, 35s. This Jeep's coming along. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.